Hello, folks. This is FIDE Master Paul Whitehead at the oldest chess club in the United States, of which I'm proud to work for, the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. And we are providing live streaming commentary on the first Donaldson Championship. John Donaldson recently retired as the director of the Mechanics Institute Chess Club, and the current director has started an inaugural Donaldson Championship at the end of the year, honoring this incredible chess player, coach, and also, not to mention, captain of the winning gold U.S. Olympic team in 2017. So, and I hope I got that date right. This tournament has one of those Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedules where there's merging and all this kind of thing. I don't really understand it. I've never played in a tournament like that. And Judith Starry, our tournament director today, is going to come in and maybe clear that up for me. Despite all that, we still have chess games going, and that's where I'm going to concentrate on here. And we've got some really good players playing. Actually, John Donaldson himself is playing this round, and even though his game is not up on our DGT boards, I think just because he's playing one game. And but hopefully we're going to get him in here and either help me with my commentary, laugh at my commentary, or at least say a quick hello. And so a quick shout out to the tournament director, club director, Abel Talamentes, who's not here. I told him that at the beginning of this broadcast I'd give him a shout out, and then before I got on to the game. So I hope you're having a nice day off, Abel, and things are going smoothly and excitingly around here. We've got some good players playing Masters and International Masters and Women International Masters and Women's Candidate Masters and so on and so forth. And so without further ado, I'm going to get into some of these games. I've got my coffee, I've got my banana, and I've got some Altoids. And so hopefully that'll see me through. And we're going to go up until the end of this round and then take an hour break and or so, and then starting up again at around 4 o'clock for the next round. And then tomorrow, the commentary for the rounds will be provided by Jim Eade, FIDE Master James Eade, who was also a former director of the Mechanics Institute Chess Room and the author of Chess for Dummies. So, and that book was probably aimed right at me, and that's why I didn't read it. All right, so we're going to go in. We're starting in round 2, but before we do that, let's just go back to round 1. And like I said, this is a merging tournament, so things aren't clear where people are standing, but we're getting some good games right off the top. And there was a bit of a tragedy in round 1 where Mark Pinto, one of a strong player, FIDE Master, and fell for an unfortunate trap in a winning position. And I want to just show you quickly this game because Mark played a very powerful game with white, and it's worth replaying yourself one day. So this is apparently I forgot the name of it. It's a version of the London system with knight c3 instead of knight d2, and there's a player that this is named after, a contemporary player whose name I've just forgotten, but maybe somebody will remind me. Hi, Elliot is joining us. Don't see takes. 94. Maybe Elliot can take. So watch how just simply white plays here and develops a very powerful and encouraging b5 to undermine it with a4, and this bypassing the pawn. White is opening the game up with his superior lead in development. Black tries to catch up here. Another forceful move, takes, and we get black plays f6 here. Maybe not a wise choice. White might have done a little better by bringing the bishop back to h2, but that's somewhat academic. White's attack sort of plays itself here. This is really crushing, actually. Bishop e8. White dominating the board here. Bishop c5. Actually, the bishop looks good on g3 now. Rook a6. Black is forced to do this to have any semblance. And now queen c4 is a good move. Hits the bishop. Black plays rook c6. And now if white plays queen d5, followed by a5, black is paralyzed and lost in this position with the rook at h8 out of play as well. It's a no-brainer. So queen d5 and a5, but white is carried away, gets carried away, plays rook d8, and black unleashes bishop f2, check, winning his queen, and Mark Pinto goes home. And that's right, the Jobava. It's the Jobava with knight c3. The London system with knight c3 is called the Jobava. And so Mark Pinto has to go home after this. He told me he was pretty discouraged. He played a really, really powerful game. And so the lesson here is to be alert, of course, and in one position, sometimes you have to be even more careful than you do in difficult positions, because you relax, or you get overconfident, or you move too quickly, or I don't know. And maybe none of those reasons applied here, but this is was a disastrous finish to this game for sure. On the other two boards, we did have an upset, or on the top boards in round one, we had an upset, not here, where Ray Kaufman beat Theodore Biasis. If Biasis is a familiar name to some people, he was a Canadian grandmaster. He was born in Athens, but a Canadian grandmaster. This is Peter Biasis, whose son Theodore is. And I played Peter back in the day, a bunch of games, so I knew his dad, but I don't know Theodore. And Peter's very much still around, but I don't think he plays chess anymore. And I can ask Theodore about that if I happen to run into him. So this was not Theodore Biasis being a strong expert, and Kaufman being a pretty experienced international master. That game ended up in a win for Raymond Kaufman. This was an upset, though. Jason Liang, rated 2350 something, loses to John Canessa, who's rating, he's an expert, a strong expert. Nevertheless, that was an upset. And Michael Walder, National Master Michael Walder, is playing into form lately over this last year, and now with a nice victory over another 2350 player. And Michael Walder certainly deserves to go back over Master. It's overdue, and probably has happened already or is going to happen in this tournament. Also playing in this tournament, well, anyway, there's Abel playing a game and losing, apparently, unfortunately, to a youngster in the on board 5. Apparently he was winning. That was yesterday, Friday's game. All right, so we're back here, and let's go straight to the games. Here's Ray Kaufman again, playing Canessa. So Ray Kaufman, international master, playing Jean-Luc Canessa, strong expert, and we're getting that same system again with knight c3 and bishop f4, the Jobava London system. And white goes straight for the jugular. This is kind of how this is played nowadays. Obviously an exchange sacrifice, or at least the opening of the H-file after this, and black reacts quickly in the center. This is probably book, I imagine, or has been seen before. This is, you know, this is scary for black, especially if you're not prepared. And you know, but black is also aiming at b2 and trying to get some counterplay and develop bishop h6, trying to get rid of that black squared defender. Is it mate yet? No. White needs to develop some pieces. Black is developing too. White still, you know, has some scary looking moves there on the, so bishop g4 is interesting. E6 looks solid maybe as well. Then yeah, okay. So possibly black could have played e6, maybe. Well, then dc5 and queen d4 check, and maybe that's looking a little rickety for black. Okay, so white's playing very simply. The e4 pawn was attacked, knight f6. Black sort of looks out of the woods here. White's played very aggressively, but there is the problem of the e4 pawn. And the game is still sort of a tactical, some tactics going on here. I'm not sure white wanted to play a4. That looks to me like it weakened his own, especially if he doesn't have a sure shot here. Black has b5 now as an idea. So, okay, I'm throwing that out there. We're going to get back to this game in a little bit more depth here. I'm going to just try to get to the games quickly, and then we'll come back. This is Michael Walder versus Shriram Krishnakumar, who is, I think, a strong expert. Candidate master is in front of his name. His 2190 is his, or 21, high 2100s. Michael Walder, an experienced master whose tournament career goes back to the 1970s. And so we have this Sicilian with queen takes d4 and bishop b5. Let's take a look at that again. White's taking on d4 with the queen, which is a perfectly legitimate approach. Queen d3 is a little unusual. White would normally play bishop takes c6 and probably not lose time by moving the queen again. And we have a Maroczy bind kind of system, which is typical of this opening. Black is developing and getting a hedgehog, playing the hedgehog. And black gets the two bishops. White wants to play, white in this position wants to play knight d5. That's a common tactic here. Queen b8. a4, and now I'm not sure about that move a4, because of course the normal response then would be for black to play a5 and like knight d7, knight c5, but white has some pressure right away on the d pawn. So it's, although a5 looks like the kind of the right move, black plays rook d8 first, queen e2, b6. All right, so black is not ready to play a5, knight d4, bishop b7. Typical maneuvering here. Black putting the rook opposite the white queen to toy with the idea of playing d5. Black is going to put the bishop on c7, it looks like. Another idea in this position. Black looks well placed here and makes this move. All right, so this is a committal move because, of course, it gives up the d5 square, but it's certainly tactically justified. If pawn takes pawn, and the knight can't move because the queen is lost, so white has to do something else. And now black opens the game up. e4 is on the line here. But on the other hand, this needs to be looked at very carefully because now white has play on the g7 square. And black looks a little flat-footed here. I'm not sure that black should have gone in for e5. We'll take a look at this again in a little bit. It's looking dangerous for black here with the pieces, his bishops, sort of impotent bishops on the queen side, and things being opened up towards the king side. I think black has made an error of judgment here. But if he can survive this, you know, he might be okay. The problem with taking on d5, of course, with any piece is that the c file is opened and the c6 square is vulnerable, and black went wrong here. This is not looking great. Let's take a look right here. The move that strikes me is d5 because of e5, knight e4, and that looks completely correct to me. And it's a little bit odd. And it's the same thing. If white plays pawn takes d5, e takes d5, and then e5, knight e4, and black is looking active there. And that's looks like the correct pawn break. e5 is sometimes played, but this is not working out. Okay, that's board 2. Now we have Rohan Das versus Shakith Shivakumar, and let's see what the ratings of these guys are. These guys are on board 3. So in this, you know, merging chess tournament, these are an A player and expert, respectively. Let's roll over to their game, and we'll go right back to the beginning. The game has progressed quite a long distance. Okay, so this is called the London defense, in case anybody wants to know, this kind of early b6 stuff, although it could transpose. And now we have a kind of a Dutch hybrid here. White's playing, White's playing a London setup, kind of a London style setup. Many ways to play against the Dutch. If I was black, I'd be very tempted to take on c3 there, doubling white's pawns and fixing him with that kind of, and then playing c5. Okay, white now has a chance to take on c3 with a piece, but this move that blocks his own b-pawn and sets up, obviously the idea is maybe to play d5, c5 rather, hitting on e6, but white's queen doesn't look so great there. c5, that's a nice looking move. Takes, black is obviously equal, and the queen has to move again, and black is playing well. So knight c3, black must have something in mind, and I can see what it is, bishop f6 and then bishop e4. And this is already looking extremely awkward. White's already probably dropping a pawn here. And the queen has had to move 6 times. So this is completely misplayed handles, no matter what happens here. Black is pushing and white is getting pushed. And so onto board 4, where one of our club players, Aiko Hidari, rated strong A player, is playing strong expert woman candidate master, I think is Ashley Pang. So this is our board 4, and we're going to go through it really quickly. Again, at least trying to hit the salient points. Okay, this is old style English play here by White. Threatens bishop takes c3 check and is an aggressive move. And black hits on f2. Black is playing a nice aggressive game. And I'm not sure where that knight is going. So there's been that move is a little strange to understand. I mean, it's in anticipation of White playing b5, but an odd move. And Black's play is maybe a little too much here. Should be e6, knight a4. White maybe in this last position, instead of castling, could have played knight d5, followed by f4 or something, and start pushing these black pieces back. This bishop e6 does control this knight, the d5 square, but of course White's still standing very well here. But this brings the knight to the wrong side of the board, it looks like. This is correct, though, obviously, and Black's pieces are getting kicked back. Yeah, a little bit of inconsistent play by Black here, and by White. But we have a game, and nobody's hung any pieces, so that pleases the chess audience. Black is taking some action in the center here, a little, and taking advantage of the fact that the knight on c3 is undefended. White's been anxious to trade queens, but maybe it was a little too early to be doing that. Bishop d4 threatens the knight on e5, obviously. So we can take a look at knight c6, bishop f6, bishop f6, and White can actually get away with c takes d5, because if bishop takes c3, d takes c6, and that's obviously, maybe not so obviously, but a few forcing moves, and White is clearly better there. So knight c6, bishop f6, followed by c takes d5, and maybe Black could play knight takes b4 there, or something like that. All right, Black got back into this. I think White was doing well there. All right, so now we have here's our board 5. And this is Eric Lee, who's in his 23, he's a young man, 12 years old, and 2350 strength player. He's playing Theodore Biasis, strong expert, who lost to Ray Kaufman in the previous round. So he's getting a lot of experience in this tournament. And we have a Catalan, an opening that I don't know very much. Black is playing a very solid kind of system here. Both players are developing. There was a threat on c4. White takes on d5, a4. Okay. White's expanding on the queen side and locking down some squares over there, although it does create a weak square on b4. So maybe the idea is to play knight b5. I confess to not having a deep understanding of the subtleties of these queen pawn games. And could be an annoying move. Black is uniting his rooks. And this was expected, this knight b5 move.
See, this guy's dangerous. I see.
Rook c8. All right, John Donaldson is here. So John Donaldson, you need to sit down for a minute and tell us. Okay, well, whatever you're saying is being live
Well,
broadcast.
you don't forget.
Well, there's no stopping it. Mic's on. So you come and join me when you can, and if you can. Just for a minute, even. Yes, yes, John, have a seat. Have a seat, just for a minute. Okay. Yes. Oh, okay, we're going to give you this one. All right, have a seat, John.
Okay.
So how'd you do? You played in a game
Yeah.
already in this
Yes.
tournament in your honor.
Yeah,
Very good. And did you win?
I did.
You did. Are you going to play any other games this tournament?
Unfortunately, I have other commitments. I have got to get back. Got to get back home right away. But I just wanted to play one game and support the tournament.
That's great. Okay, and well, there's going to be one next year and the year after that.
Yeah, then
and
maybe
this
I'll be
is
able to
the,
play all the rounds.
yeah.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah.
You know, but
Well, yeah. This is the inaugural John Donaldson Championship.
yeah, but you know, they should have. You know, I was expecting it would be like the Steve Brandwein Memorial, held while Steve was still alive.
Well, okay. Well, we
I
can leave
remember
this a
him.
memorial for you. You have to petition Abel, and
Okay. Yeah.
we can. John, it's good to see you always.
Okay.
What are you reading?
Oh, Joseph Kanan.
Okay. All right.
I'm afraid, you know, a book for enjoyment.
Okay. What
right.
was the rating of your opponent today?
I think he was like young
Expert,
expert,
young
recently
expert.
relocated from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that I had a height advantage over most of the competitors in the tournament.
There's a lot of young players.
There
It's
are
great.
indeed,
It's
yes,
great. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it is
yeah,
very
yeah.
good.
All
All
right.
right, Paul.
Okay,
Pass
John.
the John Madden of chess.
No, the John Madden of chess. Thanks, John. And I think I'm entitled to say, who was that masked man? That was International Master John Donaldson, former director of a chess club, well-known chess personality, et cetera, et cetera. I've already given him an intro earlier. Okay, so here, let's go back to, I got distracted there in a good way. Let's go back to Eric Lee playing Theodore Biasis here. Eric Lee is a 2350 player, as I said, 12 years old, and Theodore Biasis is a strong expert. And so Black seems to have done well. Black seems to, well, let's see. If Black plays bishop b4, knight a7, so bishop b5 looks like it might be forced, takes. And now the a file is plugged up temporarily, but I could see White maybe being able to play rook a1. Is that going to, no, it's not going to win a pawn, I don't think. Maybe it did. So Black had no time for any tricks here like knight c3, queen a3, knight e2 check. You've just dropped a piece at a3. So he's forced to move the bishop. He decides that this is the right square, and White is thinking. So what bad things can happen to White if he plays queen a7, and he did. All right, so he's obviously decided that nothing too horrible is going to happen, and Black might have troubles because of the pin on the knight at d7. But knight c3 here, attacking e2 and b5 may well hold. We'll have to look at that. We'll have to see what Black comes up with. But that's, okay. All right. That's my verdict for now, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, now this is board 6. And actually, board 6, we were just looking at the games in the open section. But this board 6 is actually I'm going to tell you in a second. Board 6 is the top board in the in the A section, and what we do here at the Mechanics, what we've been doing is we're showing not just the top players and analyzing their games, but also moving on down the line and looking at the games from some of the lower boards as well. We find they're just as interesting and just as instructive. And I'll try to back up my point there with some analysis. So these are two players I don't know who they are. Inaugural, they're Jargoma and Zolb. I'll take a stab at it. Lakagvasuren. These are Mongolian chess players, or chess players whose origins are in Mongolia, and they got paired together in this tournament, and that's the way things usually work out. You travel the world, and then you get paired with your friends. Okay, so we have a close Sicilian here, and both players are developing their pieces, and black wants to play b5. Sometimes rook b8. I'm going to just say that rook b8 looks possible too, because you might be able to play b5 without playing a6, and you're also taking your rook off this long diagonal. That's something for you folks to think about. A4, and now rook b8. Okay, f4, d5, black strikes in the center, and white plays. This is a fairly typical structure that usually I think black should have no worries here. These kind of positions, white obviously is going to find it very difficult to play f5 because e5 is hanging, and although at the right moment that could be dangerous. So chances are fairly evenly divided. In some respects, I'd almost rather have black here, whose line of play is more clear, which is simply to develop, contest the A file, and maybe play D4 or B4 or C4. White seems to have less sort of to play for here. And D4 is one way, obviously, to play. And black now has a choice of keeping the position fluid by maintaining the tension, taking on D4, or bypassing with C4. The bypassing move is the most dangerous because obviously white can play F5. So the other two alternatives look a little better. And black, of course, plays this, driving the white knight to the side of the board. And this is another strong-looking move. And this is white's compelled, in order to avoid losing a pawn, to take on C5. And black takes their time taking on C5. Instead, sort of maintaining, getting the bishop off the vulnerable A6 square. Obviously, if knight c5, then black would be, have to take on E2 in order to avoid losing that bishop. So black is just sort of getting the bishop off the vulnerable square, and it's a good looking move. White gets out of that pin. Now black takes on C5, and this has gone very well for black, obviously. Fully developed, can play, can even think about playing for F6 at some point, and has the queenside clamp down. It's a very active and good position. That's an annoying move. Not sure about this whole exchange here. Let's see, let's go back. Black could have played back to maybe B6, and then, okay, well, let's see what happens here. Is this exchange the right exchange? It looks good for black. This is white decides that they have to play this very passive move. If bishop d4, knight d4, queen d3, is playable, because if knight c2, rook c1, but then rook c8, so there's some difficulties here for white to try to defend the c2 square. So this might have been well timed by black. I'm going to take my words back here. Black is a little bit in control, especially notice how the e6 and d5 pawns cramp the white bishop. Black is forced back, but black is taking this file. White would, of course, love to trade the bishop for the knight, but black avoids exchange. White gets the bishop to this better square, so that white's come a long way to improving their position. Black makes a stab out here and loses a pawn, it looks like, because if king h7, queen d3 check, let's see. The threat is to take the pawn here, so black could actually play h6. And bishop h7, king h7, queen d4, that would obviously be... We'll have to see what direction the play takes, but this happens. I don't know, it might have been better for black to take. Let's see what's going on here. A little awkward for white now, especially king h8. Maybe white overplayed their hand here, because if queen d3, queen f2 wins on the spot, and we're seeing what happens now. If the queen moves along the second rank, queen c3 simultaneously protects the knight and hits the rook. So white plays for mate, or at least some kind of attack here. And black is thinking. Let's think along with them. If queen takes b2, bishop g6, all right, knight g5 is played. That doesn't look right. Why not just take the rook right away? All right, I'm going to go, let's analyze this. If you take the rook, bishop g6, maybe, king g8, queen h7, king f8, queen h7, queen h8, king e7. There's no reason for black not to take the rook right now. Knight g5 hands white a whole tempo. F takes g5, queen b2. That pawn actually at g5 looks like it's joining in the attack. So f takes g5, queen takes b2, bishop g6 check. Yeah, it's not clear why black put the knight in on g5 first. Oh, I see. Duh. Queen f3 check. If f takes g5, queen f3 check, king g1, queen takes d1 check. All right, so that is the problem for white here. White, bishop, it's funny, folks, back in this position, bishop h7 check looks like a good move, and it turns out to be a bad move. Black's position is just too strong for white to be able to escape with a tactic here. All right. Now we are looking at this game on board 7, and this is also one of the top boards of the A section, and this is an A player who's playing a C player who's played up, and the A player is white. And let's take a look at how this game has gone, and this is the board in the A section. So e4, and these are players I've never met before, don't know much about them. They're not our regular club players. They've turned out for this tournament. We have a Roy Lopez here. A Slopez, a Breyer type system, or whites play d3 and black plays the Breyer maneuver, knight b8, d7. And the game is developing along very normal lines here. Interesting, black could have played h6, and maybe this was a little bit inaccurate, but now is able to play that anyway. White provoked that, and this has probably all been seen before. White has a little bit of a build-up there, and now plays on the queen side. So this is what attracts people to this opening, is its complexity. You know, both white and black can play on the center, on all sides of the board, and it makes for complex and interesting chess. So, Judith, I'm trying to go through the boards one by one. I'm joined here by Judith Starry, directing the tournament. How's the tournament going?
Going smooth.
Okay.
We are in the second round for both schedules now.
Okay.
And everything is
I better give you a microphone.
Yes, otherwise.
Okay. Otherwise,
Mark will
Judith
be.
Starry. Okay.
Thank you.
And taking a break from directing this tournament, which is going on right now.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, everything is going good. We have 2 different schedules. We have the 3-day schedule for those who want to start on Friday and play all the rounds long, game in 90 plus 30 time control.
Okay.
And then we have the short, the 2-day schedule, who can only start on Saturday. They play 2 rounds of fast time control, game in 60 plus 5-second delay.
It's very complicated. I mean, to me, it's very complicated.
I guess I've been doing it for a while now, so it's like very. Saturday morning is very busy because you start both schedules, then you have to do again quite fast.
And they're all merging.
And then
now
we are merging before
in the next round.
Yeah. So before the next round, I'm gonna merge the 2 schedules. So open 2-day and open 3-day will become open section.
Okay, and so next round we're going to get to see all the top players
That's
in competition with
That's
each
correct.
other.
Yes.
And okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that right now we're just seeing some pretty good chess.
Yes, so most of the top 10 boards will be, I guess, open section. Probably, I don't know how many do we have for the. Yeah, it's gonna be because open we have 15 in the 2-day and we have 6. Yeah, 5 in the other. So it's it's actually
and
top 10
strong
board.
players all over the place.
Yes.
What other announcement? What's coming up in the? This is the last tournament of the year. Although we do have a rapid tournament right at the New Year's.
30th.
On the 30th.
Yeah. That's always Monday evening.
Monday evening rapid.
Yeah.
And then is there some chess camps going on?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Well, enrichment
Before the end of
wise,
the year,
we have. We offer winter chess camps, so kids during the winter break can stop by and get chess camp.
And their parents can go shopping for Christmas.
Shopping, dating, working, whatever they want to do.
Okay.
We are operating between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Okay.
And parents and kids can opt for morning only, so 9 till 12:30. And then afternoon only, that's 12:30 to 4, or they can stay here all day long.
Parents, you hear that?
Yes.
Your kid loves chess. Bring him on down.
And I always tell them that, yes, we have a set amount of price, fixed amount of price, but if money is an issue, nobody should ever stop their kid from playing chess because of the freeze. So let me know, reach out to me, and we'll make it work somehow.
Okay.
We have scholarships available. We have generous donors for our youth outreach program, and we can allocate some of the funds for supporting kids who want to play chess, but their parents won't be able to afford. So,
got you. That's a great thing.
Yes.
That's a great, great
I'm
thing.
waiting for the emails, folks, and then just bring the kids down. we'll have Coach Philip and Coach Andrew, and possible
Andrew, huh?
Andy
Andrew's great.
for
I know
one
him.
day,
Yeah.
and then Coach Philip will start. We are closed on the 24th and 25th,
Right.
and we are closed on the 1st. So, okay, I think one of your top players is finished, right?
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Paul.
Hello.
Hi. What's your name?
I'm Oranchimik.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that your game that we're looking at right now?
Okay.
Well, how about that? Fantastic.
Mark.
So we're on a live broadcast on Twitch,
Okay.
and tell us about yourself, because I've never met you. So, and maybe people don't know who you are.
Okay, for sure. So, my name is Oranchimik, and
Uh-huh.
I'm Mongolian.
Okay.
Yes, but I live in Canada.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. And so, how did you hear about the tournament and come down here?
So, yeah, I have older brother. So
Uh-huh.
we both play chess. So we like go to tournament to US like.
Right.
Yeah,
Does
twice
every
a year.
Mongolian play chess? I mean, we've met so many. It's a small country, but so many chess players.
Yes, chess
come
is.
from Mongolia.
Yes, chess is like very popular in Mongolia.
Yeah. We've and we've had some very good players here. Like, I mean, like yourself.
Thank you.
How did you do in your game?
Yeah, it was good.
Did you
game.
win?
Yes, I won.
Okay. Do you want to show us? We'll go back to the beginning. It's funny because we were just looking
Yeah,
at the
sure.
game, and you can tell us what was happening. Lopez.
Yeah, yes. So these are all just like an opening of the game.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, everything was okay until the mid game.
Right. That's usually so. This has probably been seen many times before.
Yes.
Similar. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So my knight maneuver,
Okay.
I tried to. When they move rook e8, I find
You
the
can play
weakness
knight
on
G-
f7.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
So they had to go back to rook f8.
Right, and now maybe you go back and they can and
Yes.
then offer a draw.
So,
yeah, the
I
famous
won a tempo,
fighting
so.
spirit of the Mongolians.
Yeah. So
Okay,
this time I just go back.
sure.
Yep. So they attack. I bring my bishop back.
Complex.
Yeah, here.
I think
My
white is maybe
F5
starting to get a little bit of an advantage here.
Yes.
This knight c5 move maybe is not
As
so
good as-
much counterplay
Right.
for black.
Right. Instead, they would have played c5 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this. Just thinking.
Yeah, but it looks
But these
okay
are
for now.
complex positions. It's
Yes.
very difficult to know how to play. Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Maybe e6 is a better square. I don't know.
Yeah. I think e6 was a better
Okay.
option.
Queen d2 is it? Okay. So now.
So now they were trying to move g6.
Right.
So I just prevented by
Sure.
queen d2.
Interesting. Interesting move. Yeah.
Yes.
But it blocks your own bishop. So
Right.
a lot of players would not think about this.
Right.
move.
But at least I prevent their g6, so my
Okay.
f5 knight can stay there.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Knight b6. Everybody's
So
moving.
here I
okay.
start
Sure.
the game, start attacking.
Right. Yeah.
But they block it. So here I was thinking either knight f3 or g2, but then I moved g2 because then later on my knight can connect my f5 knight on e3 square.
Logical.
Yes.
Also, knight. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then, yeah.
If you move the knight to f3, you want to maybe sacrifice on g5, and maybe it
Maybe.
works. I don't know.
Right. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have a little bit advantage on the position.
Sure, I think so.
So queen e2 is I'm protecting my g4 pawn. So later on I can move h4 and like attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the knight moves all over
yeah.
the board.
that
Yeah,
knight
yeah,
really
yeah.
moves all over the board.
And
So
it's
here
not
is
doing
the-
much. And this is strong, obviously.
Right.
You're
See, at least they want to try like knight e7. If I moved my knight to f3, I can't like make
yeah.
a connection
You
between.
can play h4 too quickly
Right.
as well because the g4 pawn is protected.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, very good.
So it just takes.
Right. And now the h file,
Yeah.
maybe.
Here I have to take the knight, otherwise their knight will come g6 and h4 or f4.
Good point.
So yeah, here I
But you
took the
get
knight.
tempo to play knight f5.
And then the second
Right.
knight comes in.
Sure,
Yeah. So I move my king.
right.
Now I can attack on h5.
Rook
yes?
h1, h5 is
Right.
coming. Black is not played very well
Yeah,
here.
didn't. Yeah, a little
I
bit
think.
not strong moves. So.
Okay. But you still have to win. So
Right.
now what? Knight f8. What about knight f8? To
Right.
come to
I was
e6.
expecting knight f8,
Right.
knight g6. It's better. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that knight really
This
goes
is
to
just.
Yeah.
It's funny almost.
yeah.
Yeah, almost.
It's just like do whatever you want for me. So I'm just like,
Right, yeah. So rook h5 just wins here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. White, you've played a very logical, strong, that's it.
Yes.
Boom.
It's just
Very good. Well, you're going to
Thank
get some strong players
Thank
in
you.
the rest of the rest of the.
So-
You're welcome to sit for. I'm looking at some games. Do you want to finish looking at some games, or do you have to go?
no, I'm good.
Okay.
My friend from Mongolia, she also came here.
Okay.
So we both like reunite on 19th. So we participate the tournament yesterday.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
and-
Fantastic.
One of my cousin too. They are
Right.
both playing on
So you
first
come.
board.
So you come to the United States from Canada to play
Yes.
chess.
Yeah, also
Interesting.
for a vacation. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like chess, so.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for showing us that game,
no
and
problem.
like I said, you're welcome to hang out with me, and while I look through some more games.
For sure, yeah.
Are these two of your friends
Yes,
here?
those are my friends.
And they're playing each other.
Each other,
Okay.
because they both won yesterday.
Right. But right now, I'm going to just go down here,
For
and
sure,
we're
yeah.
looking at board 8, which is also in your section, the A section.
Oh, yeah.
And so let's just quickly look through this. I've been here for quite a while, and I'm still just getting through the first round of games. It's crazy here. It goes a little slow.
Their game looks interesting.
Okay. Carol Khan, exchange variation. I don't know much about, maybe you know more about openings than I do.
Not that much either.
Yeah. Okay. It looks logical. Both players are developing their pieces. White gets out of the pin with this strange move, and black comes back to oppose. So this is
Right.
well played.
Okay.
Trades.
exchange.
Very.
Okay.
Okay, so black can start a minority attack maybe with b5 and b4.
Right.
I'm not sure what's white strategy, occupy the center. And black is very, very logical game here.
On.
Okay,
When the rook moves, they just see the attack on f7.
that's a good move, knight g5. All of a sudden, maybe not such a good move by black. Maybe black should,
They can't take the e5 knight.
Right.
So it's,
maybe black should play h6 here. And rook f8 is, opens the way to knight g5.
right.
And now there's the possibility of taking here, maybe. At least,
Maybe,
yeah.
or like double up the rook, so they can take, and then take the
Right.
b6 pawn.
You could also play knight e5, f7, and then rook e6, maybe just to
Right.
sacrifice, just to start an attack, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an idea,
Right.
that's all. But h3 is played, h6, and white comes back. So black can get back to this move.
Yes.
But maybe rook a6 is coming. Is that a good
Right.
move? But then knight e5. No. I'm not
I think
sure.
rook a6, yeah.
Yeah, why? Black, this is premature maybe for black. I don't know. But maybe there's no way to take advantage.
With the queen.
Yeah. This is a good
Does he
move.
have to take the knight?
Maybe not.
Maybe just rook a1, e2, a1,
Yes.
Can keep
Rook.
the-
Yes.
because it's still pinning the knight. The
Yes.
rook a6.
Although black could actually take it because boom on the queen, right?
Oh yeah, right.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what would be going on here, but black seems to be doing okay, being able to sort of hold on here. And this could, you never know what can happen here. White now feels like they have to defend. Yeah, defend on c3, and this is sort of successful strategy for black.
Okay, it looks good.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, now we are in this game is the top board in the, these players are low rank, 1400 and 1300.
Okay.
But we're giving them space to look at their games too,
Sure, yeah.
because it's interesting. It's just as interesting as master games,
Yes.
I think. Everything, as long as people are developing their pieces, I'm happy with it.
That's true, as long as they're following this basic strategy.
Right, yeah. And not dropping any pieces. Okay, so white's, this has been very reasonable. And b6, I guess, is a okay idea here. Well, black wants to play bishop a6, but wants to play a5 first. Black is getting a good game here, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Boy,
and especially now the d4 square. But it's not, you know, it's not winning. Nobody's winning.
Right.
Black gets away from the d file with the queen. And now I'm not sure about that. This is
Maybe
always
knight
the
e6
worst square
would have-
for a knight,
Right.
always, is the b7, g7, b2, g2. If you find your knight on this square, watch out. This is like the worst square on the chessboard for a knight. So I'm not sure that that was correct. Black could also have played bishop f8 maybe, because that would be a possibility, or move the other knight to d7, or
e6, knight e6.
yeah.
I know, but gonna lose the pawn. Okay.
But black has this idea, and maybe because white's a little paralyzed here.
Oh, now maybe b5.
That's an interesting idea. Black could have tried b5 there.
Yeah.
But there's always a million places to move your pieces. You can go here, there, or anywhere sometimes.
Right.
He's talking to me, Winslow. Do you know who Elliot Winslow is? He's an international master, and he's playing in this tournament. There's two international masters playing,
Nice.
Ray Kaufman and Elliot, and but they're old guys. So actually, Ray is not an old guy. So they find that he's saying he's not.
No, I'm not. You're not.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Elliot.
Yeah, thank you for
Oh, you're not playing. You're sick. You're home. Oh. Okay. So he's not playing. I thought he was. Yeah. So black plays queen b8, getting out of the pin, and this is this exchange I'm not sure about.
Yeah.
Why would white want to make that exchange? And this is what I find when I'm looking at games often between the weaker players, is they don't know what pieces to exchange. And that's a big difference between master play and amateur play, is the knowing which pieces to trade.
Right.
And we're finding another knight maneuver. Maybe that's the theme of the tournament, is moving the knights. You know, whoever moves the knights the most is going to win the tournament. C6 is a good move,
Preventing D5,
covering d5, but the rook comes down, and now b5.
See, the b8 queen looks like a castled queen.
Yeah.
Can't come out.
Yeah, a lot of funny placement of black pieces, and b5 looks like an attempt to break out. I'm having trouble with my mouse here. Take. I think white can probably take it with the queen, and they do. And black does this,
But
but
they
then
can
the
take
queens
the
come off.
Ooh,
And
okay.
if bishop f1, knight f6 check, and knight takes e8, so black is in trouble here, down a pawn and under pressure.
Right.
And knight c7, excuse me,
Oh yeah, the knight fork right there.
knight c7 is a possibility here too. So this is looking a little bleak for black, maybe bishop d8, but then the rook moves from
Right.
f1 and,
I
okay.
think Bishop d8 is the move, right?
Yeah, bishop d8 is played, rook d1, just like we thought. Knight b6. Okay.
Oh,
No-
now the bishop got a nice square on this.
Right, but still white looks like black is holding on to the two bishop thing here. So there's some possibilities. Black has played well here.
Yes.
Started to play some good moves.
Come out nice.
But now rook e6 wins.
Right.
So maybe that wasn't so good. That looks like a horrible blunder. This is a mistake.
Oh, no.
Let's see here. King f7 must be a mistake
Yeah.
because
It's like trapping the bishop. Want instead
Right.
like
King
G7
g7,
and
but then
bishop
rook
f7.
c6 attacks both bishops.
All right.
So maybe black has to give up a pawn here and play bishop f7 or something. I don't
Yes.
know. Yeah, this is not working out. Watch what
Or
he
rook
doesn't see it.
c8 was better move.
Let's see. Okay, so rook c8.
It takes.
b6 is hanging.
I mean, that's rook e2.
Oh, and then if rook takes rook, bishop takes rook f6
Yeah. let's
at the
play that
end.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this happens, and now white misses bishop. White misses rook takes e6 because if rook e6, bishop
Can pin
c4,
it, yes.
and then if rook b6, you play bishop e6
Check
check,
first,
not
yes.
rook e6, right?
Right.
But yeah.
Ooh, missed the chance here.
But it plays bishop c4.
And they already
instead.
protected the f6 square,
Yeah.
so.
This is a missed opportunity. And white is still better, of course, being a pawn ahead, but the other position was winning by force, and now white is off on some tangent
Knight
here. But that black is seeking counterplay rather than playing g5, knight f5. I'm not sure that black has, the players seem to be kind of drifting a little bit. White doesn't want to allow rook d1 and rook d2. And now black plays, this is not usually good for black to have this knight on f5, but trying to create counterplay.
Okay. Here, not an obvious win, but
Right. They're still playing.
they're still playing. We never know.
And we never know what they're going to do.
Yes.
All right. Finally,
Oh,
this game ended in a checkmate, and this was the top board in the under DE and unrated. So these were quite low rated players, just in the hundreds. Okay. So we're going to just leave it at that.
okay.
I think we're gonna. I'm gonna want to come up to the. Let me take a look here. We have a results here on one of the top boards. I'm gonna roll through the games one more time and then take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Okay, so kind of quickly maybe. So we left the game off here. This was unclear. White just played a4, queen a6. I wasn't sure. And white plays for the trade of queens, which is interesting. White's going to be better here with this
Double
pawn majority on the queen side,
Right.
and maybe just winning a pawn right here.
Ooh.
Why is a5 played and not knight takes e4? I'm not sure.
Maybe do one. Yeah, why e5?
Yeah,
Because it's just perfectly okay here.
I
You're
see
taking
why.
knight
I see why though.
Okay.
If knight takes e4, black can win by playing a5.
Oh, right.
Okay. See, I know a little bit about chess. Not much, but
Right.
so white plays a5 to weaken up the black squares over there and to take on e4. So if knight takes e4, a5.
Giving
A5 is
space on
played.
e4.
Black challenges the H file. Okay, so black is actually looking for counterplay on the H file, is what it looks like to me. But maybe B takes A5. That would be the move to sort of start eliminating pawns. Maybe. I don't know. It's not clear what's going on here. Black is going for counterplay. I like that. But white is defending here and is able to take there. All right, this is all making logical sense. That's a nice in-between move.
Right.
Attacking the black rook. Black stays on the f2 pawn. And the threat is rook. I'm not sure what the threat is. Rook h3 check may be a good move. White sends the pawns up. King g2, rook h2, king g3, the little triangulation. And white's playing to win and playing a very good game here. This is very slow on black's part, but he is getting some play.
But the pawn
Is
already...
it enough though? So white's having trouble here, maybe figuring out the exact road to victory.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk a little bit with Shriram?
For sure.
Yeah.
He just won his game against
Right.
Michael.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I'll see you maybe later today,
For
or
sure.
if not, join us tomorrow here.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. I'll be
Bye.
back. Thank
All right.
you.
Congratulations. Did you win your second game in a row?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shriram, have you been here before?
Yeah.
In the
yeah.
broadcast?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what's the deal here?
Yeah.
And we improved with the microphone, so you will have to talk, okay? And you know Paul?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, this is Sriram. What's your last name again?
Krishna Kumar.
Krishna Kumar. How'd you do in your game?
I won, and I think I played well.
Where are you? Oh, you're up here
You
against
guys
Michael
want Michael
Walder.
in here too?
Yeah, this went with this. I left it at this position. We didn't see. You want to scoot in a little bit?
Do you guys want him Michael too? Should I bring him in or no?
It's okay. Mike. We've seen a lot of Michael, and
Yeah.
Michael didn't play a good game here.
Yeah.
So
I think his mistake was bishop
E5.
D. Yeah, E5 was a mistake,
Right.
but also I think the bishop on C7 it just got really stuck.
well, let's go. Let's first of all let's see the finish of the game. Knight D5. It was clear that this had gone really bad for
Yeah.
black. Bishop D5. There's probably no defense, or at
Yeah.
least. So could you take with the C pawn maybe as well? Possibly.
Yeah, it was just I thought like I didn't want to like allow like knight E4 or rook E4 maybe I don't know.
Right. Okay.
But
Well, rook E4,
rook
bishop
E4
F6.
bishop 6 yeah.
Okay, so
I think
does
it
he
should
have
also be
anything here?
I
don't
thought his
think
best was
so.
like knight G4, sacking G7. Like knight
Okay.
H5 is too defensive, so
This attacks the knight at H5, forces G6.
yeah. Now there has to be something here.
Did you find that something?
Yeah, I think G4 is just winning after. I think this is what he missed.
G4 threatens the knight, folks, and
If knight G7, then
Queen F4.
Queen F4, and
So
then
what about rook
Queen F-
E3? Can you just move back? Is
rook
that what-
E3 is what happened.
Right, and then moving back.
Yeah, and now Queen F4 is even more deadly.
Right, because the rook will be attacked.
Yeah, and I think this was just already lost.
He's hoping you play queen takes F4,
Yeah,
and then he's
knight
going to
E2.
play knight E2 check. So take take, king up.
Yeah, and now queen d4, and the game's over.
Yeah, black has too many pieces out of play, and I'm talking about those queenside pieces. Nice game. Nice game. Here's where I think black went wrong. Here's where I think black was playing a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Up to here. But what if black plays d5 instead of e5? What's your thought about that?
d5, I was always planning to take on d5 first and then play e5. My only concern was f4 was hanging.
Right. And what? So let's see that though. d5.
d5, cd5,
bishop e5.
Yeah, or bishop f4.
Yeah.
If bishop f4, I was planning g3.
Okay. But you'll have to. But then this hangs.
Yeah. That's,
right. You're going to have to look at this because I think black had played a pretty, and the bishop, it just makes sense now for black to play d5.
Yeah. Maybe even playing e5 first after d5. d5, e5, then
knight e4.
Knight e4.
Yeah.
And then knight e4, d4, and then queen e3. And both the bishops are kind of not doing anything.
Right. And then black has to try to play something like
f6.
Yeah, maybe, or
g5,
or b5, or something like that. But at least e5 just doesn't work here. Sometimes it does work, but black has too many pieces over on the queen side that turn to nothing. And this is.
Yeah, I think e takes f4 was also bad.
Well, he's following up on his on his idea here, but.
Well, I think his best move here was g6.
Okay, g6.
And then knight h6 check, king g7. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. That's not clear. Maybe queen h6?
Yeah. Queen h3 and then...
I mean queen h3.
Yeah, but then e4 is also hanging. And I was actually thinking g6, f e5.
There you go.
And then... But then d e5, my queen and my knight are hanging.
And if queen g3...
Yeah. And then knight e4... I felt like there had to be something with rook d and e5 has to be hanging at the end.
Well, probably not with the bishop on c7, but this is definitely worth looking at. I mean, so there's a possibility that's true that black could play g6 here. You could also play knight back to e3 and then go and then the other knight into d5 and just take a positional approach to it. Black... Yeah, but black should have played. I think black should have played
d5.
d5.
Yeah. I also thought maybe like on move 19. After bishop a3, I thought bishop f8 because bishop d8 to c7 just gave me an extra move, and I thought the bishop on c7 wasn't really doing anything. Except maybe d5.
Well, sometimes it's played. I mean, it is a maneuver, and black seems to sort of. I mean, if we come back here, black has a pretty, he can, maybe he could move the bishop back to f8 anyway from here. You know what I mean? It's like there's always. But it looks like it's time for black to play d5 here, or maybe queen a8. What about queen a8?
So after bishop b2, queen
right here.
Yeah.
Let's see, bishop b2. Yeah.
Queen a8.
What about queen a8? That's an obvious move, and then d5.
Queen a8, rook e1, and then
d5. Maybe d5. Yeah. Although there's the bishop at c7 hanging, but maybe black could play bishop b8 and then d5.
Yeah, maybe bishop b8 to a7.
Yeah. I mean, these positions, that maneuver, it's just black seemed to get impatient and play with e5. But good game. Yeah. You're gonna win. Are you gonna win this tournament?
I don't know. I'm taking around 4 and 5 buys.
Oh, okay. So you're just gonna have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, there's some good players playing, and you just beat one of them. Michael Walter's been playing some really good chess lately. He's an old guy, but he used to be a 2350, maybe 2400 player.
Yeah, I've played him 4 times before.
What's your score now?
Now it's 3.5, 1.5, I think.
Well, so you've got his number, right? Yeah. Well, you're the man to beat. So, and you're 2-0 now.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna quickly go through some of these games here. We have Kaufman playing for a win here with the advanced pawn, rook h4, knight b1.
It feels like white's pawn's just gonna queen.
Let's see,
sure,
rook h1 check, king e2. I don't think black played rook h4, did he? Is rook h4 a move? Why would he play rook h4? I think there's some mistaken transmission here.
But can't rook h2 check just be played?
Right. I'm not sure why he doesn't play that. That's a repetition.
Yeah, it's a draw.
So why is rook h4 on the DGT board? I think it's a mistake.
But then how is knight b1?
Yeah, then and knight b1. Some of this does not making sense.
Yeah.
All right, so because it's not making sense, we're gonna
That's my game.
not look at it. We just looked at your game. This game was going very well for black. Let's see what happened. Okay, e5. I guess black decides that if he plays bishop b2, rook a2, and then he's going to have problems with the pawn at g6. But black plays this and buries the bishop at h2. But white looks like he's gotten away with something here because white really was. I mean, black, of course, black is still equal. You know, and doing fine here.
I think black's slightly better because the bishop on f6 can open up. Okay, not anymore.
I like this move, e4. That is a nice looking move.
It's a good move, but now...
Positionally, it's an excellent move.
But now f4 might come after bishop takes c4. And then the bishop on h2 is just... Oh, okay, that's what happened.
But the bishop on f6 is much better.
Yeah.
But this, it's true. It looks optically right now, black has the initiative, and white needs to. But this moves like rook d5. This is very unclear. Very unclear. Rook c1. I'm not sure what that is. Apropos of nothing is one of my favorite sayings.
I think rook c1 is just bad because even if knight d4, knight d2 is a threat.
It looks like maybe white should think about playing rook d5.
Yeah.
But who knows? Okay, and black plays the rook d4 move first. Now the threat is, there's no threat here for white. He's just simply getting out of the way of knight e2 check. And now
rook c8 looks
now
good.
rook c8, you know, black is taking over. Black has been making the pace for the whole game. And white is really lucky in a way to have gotten this far.
Yeah, that's...
And black is winning a pawn now.
Yeah.
And white has not done anything to bring this bishop back into the game.
Bishop h4 is...
That's a nice move. Ooh, what a move to have to play.
And
this is probably helping.
Black has to have something here.
Yeah.
Maybe just this, And now he's up 2 pawns.
Up 2 pawns. This is very well played by black, I think.
Yeah, now just push the pawns out.
Yeah. Very well played by black, who should be winning this, hands down.
Yeah, I think the game's already over.
Okay, let's see. This game apparently ended in a draw, and it ended in a draw, I think, with this repetition here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, not with rook h4.
Yeah.
All right. This Ashley Pang game, we left off at this point.
Looks complicated.
We thought it was a complicated game. And that does not pitch a piece. That looks like a very good move.
Yeah.
Rook
e7.
Yeah. Black is on the ropes here.
Okay, it just feels like white's winning.
There is the bishops of opposite colors problem here.
I don't know why white played bishop f1.
To defend the e2 pawn.
Yeah, but maybe bishop f3 might have been better.
White's doing very well here, I think, so far. And I'm not sure that this minor piece exchange helps black. King takes f1.
Oh no, rook c8's coming.
Oh, king f8, then,
Rook c8, rook c2, and then a b4. Is white in trouble now?
Then knight d5.
Oh yeah, knight d5 just wins.
Wins for
white.
Wins for white, so black can't do that. Can't play a b4.
Yeah.
And maybe rook c8 is a bad move then.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
I bring another
Okay.
player here. She's my good
Yeah.
friend John Canessa.
Hi, John.
And Paul.
And your game ended in a draw.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking at some of the games as they finish up here. All right, well, let's look at your game.
Yeah.
You just drew
Yeah.
International
Thank
Master.
you, Stefan.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Okay.
joining us.
Yeah.
Joined by John Canessa here. The round is over. We're going to look at this game. Then we're going to maybe take a really fast review of the other games, and then we're going to break and resume at 4 o'clock
That's correct.
Pacific time.
So John, you are in senior year, right? In high school, right? First year college?
Freshman college.
Freshman college.
Yeah.
You go. Oh, that was so close. So where do you go? Where are you going?
I'm going to Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. What's your major?
Math.
Math. Okay.
Chess? Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I'm Paul. Have we met before?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'm Paul Whitehead.
Hi,
I'm
nice to meet
FIDE
you.
Master Paul Whitehead.
Okay. Two very good people. So enjoy
Okay.
your time.
Yeah. So you're having a good tournament. You won your last game
Yeah.
against who did you beat?
Against Jason Liang.
Jason. Yeah.
He is, I think, a FIDE master. So
Right. So we're just chicken feed for you guys. But you're having a good tournament. Have you been studying chess lately, or is it just that the stars are converging?
not really too
or
much.
what? Yeah.
like
yeah.
I've had school, so it's been pretty tough. But
Right.
I don't know. I'm playing well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, so here's your game against International Master Ray Kaufman, who just tried to blow you off the board.
yeah, that was pretty scary. But
Yeah, but you weathered it very well. So I guess if knight h5, rook h5, right?
yeah,
Right. Okay.
now he
I'm
just
not-
develops his
I'm
pieces.
not even going to pretend to know this. The Jobava, it's called the Jobava.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, is this theory?
I don't really know. I just
You're just playing moves.
yeah, pretty much.
Cool. All right. Well, tell us. Any thoughts here? It looked to me like you played a good game. You might have been in a little bit
Yeah,
of trouble.
I thought I was in trouble here. I thought he would just castle and then after queen b6 play c3, and his pawn would be protected, and he'd just play queen c2 and attack e4. So like right here, c3,
Right.
and then my bishop's kind of shut off, and
Well,
he
you
just
can always
attacks.
try to play knight c6 and e5 or something like that.
Yeah, but I didn't really
That's
think that
dangerous,
was.
of course, as well. So you think the c3 here? He
Yeah.
might play queen a5. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying.
I thought maybe queen a5 and something like that, but I didn't really see a clear follow-up plan. So
b5, b4, but yeah. Yeah, it seems to me, well, these positions are very difficult to evaluate. I'm not really sure.
I thought that wasn't a great move, bishop h6.
You've
thought
had
just
no
kind of-
trouble
Yeah.
defending things there on the king side.
Yeah. After this, I didn't really feel too
So
pressured
if he
over
plays
there.
queen c3, you play cd4, rook d4, f6 or something, or
Yeah, I thought I could always play queen f6
Uh-huh.
if I felt
Yeah.
like I was in trouble there. So
Right.
I didn't really think
I'm
that
just
was
looking at the cheap tactics. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so knight e2, knight d7, knight g3. I thought you're maybe, well, the h file is covered, but you have problems with this. So this is
Yeah.
like if you play e6 here, then he can take on
Yeah, exactly.
c5 and maybe get you in trouble on the diagonal.
Yeah.
But you okay? So was there any point around here where you thought he missed something, or
I thought bishop e2 was fine here,
Okay.
and trade. Then
he's pressuring e4, and he goes straight after it with this. Okay, so if he can take, now this is a couple of odd moves on his part. Like a4 is a really, you have to play.
yeah,
that's
a4
a
was
dangerous
strange,
move.
but honestly, I didn't think he had much other choice.
Okay.
Like the only other move I thought was like Queen F1, just to unpin, sort of.
Right. You're
And-
getting some. It's interesting. You found some really good counterplay. Like, okay, so White's trying to play a straight ahead positional game of like, I'm going to take your e4 pawn, but tactics are saving you here, right?
Yeah.
Knight e4, a5.
Yeah.
Is there any way for him to cleanly win this pawn?
I think maybe if he was, I don't know, a bit more patient.
Yeah, maybe some patience was
Because those doubled pawns I have like aren't fixing themselves anytime
Right.
soon. Like the only way to do that is by playing f5, and my knight's protecting e4, so I can't move it away.
Right. It's funny, but this is a classic example of being active in a rook ending, and this turned out really well. This counterplay for you. I mean, I'm not sure what should have happened.
Yeah, there might have been some way to win it for him, but
So let's see, is there an alternative for White? Well, I guess the alternative is taking on e4.
yeah.
And then what?
After taking on e4, I was going to play.
Maybe that's the move.
I think rook h2. I thought maybe.
But then can he take on f6 and take on b6
Yeah.
with check?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, are you fast enough with that kingside stuff?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. On rook h4 there, f3. After knight takes e4, rook h4, f3. I'm
And then
not
rook
sure.
g2.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think I can take on e4, because then rook takes e4, rook takes e4, f takes e4, and I don't think I'm fast enough to draw
Right.
that.
So, right, rook takes b6 is questionable, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it turns out this structure, like maybe even this is a mistake. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you should just.
Yeah, maybe you should have just gone for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You get a lot of counterplay here, but it looks like he did everything right. So, is it still possible that he's missing something here? Rook h2. King. Okay, so he sets the pawns in motion. Could he play king? I guess if king g3, fe4, king g4, rook f2.
Yeah.
Right back here.
Mm-hmm.
Or right here, c4. So if you play
fe4.
well, I'm saying king g3. What if he plays king g3? Is that going to be similar to the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right, check king g2, check king. All right. Does he have to move the knight? Are you threatening?
I'm threatening rook g1.
You're threatening
And then
rook
I just
g1.
take the knight.
That's right.
So-
That's right. Good point. Okay. Knight d2, rook g1, king f3, e4. It's amazing that this has got to be a lot of counterplay now, and I'm not
Yeah.
sure that. So is this a legitimate draw? You think?
I think so. I was
Yeah.
wondering if you could play knight f1 there, actually. After rook h1 check.
Oh, okay. So let's just come back here. Rook h1. Now knight f1.
Knight f1, knight e3,
c7.
or rook b7 check first, and then king f6, c7,
rook f1.
rook f1,
king e2.
king d2, I think. Because if he plays king e2, then I can play rook c1.
No, he can't play king. Oh, he can play king d2.
So king d2, and then I have to check first to stop the pawn from promoting, I think. And then king e3, rook c1.
No, you play knight. You play knight b6. You're playing knight c4 check.
Knight c4 check.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I see. Because he's played rook b7 check first.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you go back to d6? Is your rook hanging? in that line? Let's take a look at this again. Rook, knight f1, knight e3, rook b7 check, king h6, I guess, get the king all the way out of the way.
Or king f6, I think.
Okay.
So I might need to bring my king over to stop his pawns, I don't know.
c7, rook f1 check, king d2.
And then rook d1 check.
Because if knight c4 check,
then he just moves his king.
To attack your rook. Or wait, yeah.
Yeah.
King e2, right?
Yeah.
And then you are threatened with the queen and the attack on your rook, and your knight at c4 is actually blocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so rook d1 check, king takes e3, rook c1, and then b4. With the plan of just playing b5, b6, and then queening the pawn.
Scary.
And yeah, I wasn't really sure about that
well,
either.
you're seeing a lot in the game, and you're seeing a lot. It's good. And maybe he just didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
And I can draw. You played a good game, a good and held tough against him. He really tried to blow you off the board. I want to make a quick time check here for myself. 1:38. So I'm going to go quickly through the rest of the games and then take a break until 4 o'clock. We've seen this game that you just played, a draw. We've seen this game, which ended in a disaster for Michael Walder. This game, Black is clearly winning here. In fact, White resigned after rook e3. And Ashley Pang is still playing this game. So we have a game in progress. So I'm not going anywhere while this game is going on, folks. That surprises me. And this is a tough little position now, too. Looks to me like White's better with being able to play knight a4 and get a couple of pawns moving on the king's side. All right, let's see. Did we cover Eric Lee beat Theodore Biasis in this position? Let's see what happened quickly after queen a7. Bishop f4 was played. Gf4, knight c3. We were looking at this with hitting the two pawns here. Knight e5, though, which begs the question, should Black have exchanged on f4? Because if this is piling up on d7 and winning a piece, this was, Black should not have exchanged on f4 back here. And maybe should have just played knight c3 right away. Because if the knight comes in e5, it can be taken by the bishop, right? Does that make sense to anybody? Knight c3 here. Does anybody see a knockout blow for White? I'm not sure. This looks like a mistake, taking on f4, because knight e5 and White has won a piece. Black's going for some counterplay, specifically queen to c1 check, which would be a horrible move to miss. White doesn't miss it, plays bishop f3. It's interesting, queen f7 check was open there too, but White feels it's necessary to play bishop f3 instead. Black must have some strong threats here.
Maybe worried about after king h8, rook f8.
Yeah.
After queen f7.
Right.
And
also
a piece,
b5 is hanging and stuff.
Yeah.
This is still a little bit unclear, but White avoids the main problem there, which was queen to c1 check right there. f6, trying to make look for the king there must be a lot of White threats here in this position, like knight c6. Well, then queen b5 check, I'm not sure, yeah. But coming back here, does Black have a defense? Maybe taking on f3 is the only move, and instead prefers to go out in a blaze of glory. But taking on f3 might just lose to queen f7 check and rook a7. Right. Although you get a couple of checks in, but I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think there's any hope here.
Okay. Plays f6. Rook a7 is the move played. King g2. Now there's not a single check except for queen f1. Exchanging queens. And a little bit of a ragged pawn structure here. This might not be... Okay. I guess there's probably no way to hold this ultimately. If knight b3, knight b6... I would maybe try that. He's going for it this way. Oh, is this a clear win? This is maybe tough. Yeah, I can see black not wanting to go into that, but this is, yeah, it turned quickly bad. Nice game by, I mean, you know, some good technique there by Eric Lee, but something gives me the sense that black may have missed something in there, you know, something. I'm here with John Canessa, who is having a great tournament, and did you get some sleep?
Not enough.
Not enough, yeah.
I was here pretty late yesterday.
Okay.
So
This game ended here in a victory for black, as we thought. White played this mistaken combination, bishop h7 check, but then was had to. This was a stunning blow. Queen h3 didn't work because of knight g5, with the idea of queen f3 check, and white just, oh, this is, how bad can it get?
wow.
Yeah, okay. Nice little finish there with black taking a whole rook at b2. All right, that game, the two Mongolians got paired together. We saw this game, which was a nice crush by Oranchim. Is this game still going on too? Yes, it is. We have another game going on here where black was pressuring white positionally, had gotten the advantage in this opening, but this should be a draw, I would guess. And black has a very slight advantage. I would just play king d3. Knight d1 is, why put your knight on this horrible square? Doesn't king d3 make, or even
king
c4?
d3 and c4 next.
Or just c4 right away.
c4 right away.
This is attempting. I mean, it's passive. You know, you can still play king d3, but it's a sort of a step in the wrong direction. You don't want a knight on the back row defending. This game was won by white. Eventually, oh, black hung a rook. Very, very poor. White plays a3, and black, instead of playing rook c4 or a rook back along the b file, hung their rook. So that was a game in the that was the top board in the C section, and an unfortunate mistake by Daniel Perlov there to lose that game. And finally, that was the top board in the. I'm going to take a 5-minute break anyway, and I'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll finish the rounds. The last two, there's still 2 games. Thanks, John.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for joining me, and come back just over here. All right. Back. Okay. We're back, folks. I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. We're providing live commentary on the first inaugural Donaldson Chess Championship in honor of former club director John Donaldson, who was briefly with me today and had to run off had some family responsibilities, but he played a round of the tournament here today and he won and showed up. And we have an exciting round drawing to a close here with 2 games left on our top 10 DGT boards. This is a game from the open section. I'm pretty sure it's the open section, although I've lost my piece of paper. Yeah, it is. This is Eiko Haidari versus women's candidate master Ashley Pang, and she has been in a bit of trouble this game for sure, and is fighting for her life here in this game. Eiko Haidari has played a very strong game and has had Ashley on the ropes for most of the
break, or do you want Brian and Perlov?
Okay, sure. Yeah, there's 2 good. No, we're providing commentary right now. So come on, you guys. Let's see. This is Daniel. I've got 1 mic. You guys, these are 2 of the contestants are joining me. Daniel Perlov and Brian Fong. Okay, guys, let's find your game here. You're on the DGT board. The whole world was watching.
I've never done this before.
Okay, well, this is
Brian,
a live
can
blog.
you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I don't play her regularly. I play her occasionally. I'm a high schooler. I go to Lowell High School, and I'm a 12th grader. So
Okay.
that's good.
Lowe's High School has a really good chess club, right?
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's pretty good. It's pretty decent.
All right, so and Daniel, we know each other.
We
We know each other.
other. He chats all the time.
And
I've been
but
here before.
I've got to say, you blundered.
Yeah, it was a horrible. I was like, I was.
Yeah, horrible blunder here.
I was feeling a little bit of pressure. I was like, time gets down, kind of rattles you a little.
All right,
bit.
I'm going to give you you guys give me your impression of the game, and I'll give you mine. So far, so good. Players are developing their pieces. Everything seems to be in order. B6, this seems a reasonable way to play this for black. In fact, I think black's probably getting some initiative here.
Yeah.
The queen, it's funny, the bishop should be on e2 and the queen should be on c2. Just like the pieces are like misplaced for white a little bit. Black has done very well here to get this, I think. Normally I'd want to play knight c4 to avoid this weakening. So black now gets this nice d4 square for a piece, for one of the pieces. And so this is definitely equal position. Queen c8, getting out of the pin. Although you could play h6 right away.
Yeah, but
just challenge it.
He had like knight discoveries with the rook on d1, so I also had to get it off the d file.
Good,
so I figured that was
good point. Good point. Yeah, right. And now I'm not sure, this knight b7 move I'm not that fond of. Maybe bishop f8 or knight fd7 or knight e6, although you've got to watch out for knight e5. But maybe, I mean, actually it worked out because of this pinning stuff here.
Yeah, I noticed his 2 center pawns were really weak, and it would have taken him time to defend both of them properly. So I figured putting pressure on them kind of made sense. Especially because the e pawn's kind of stranded there. That f pawn isn't moving anywhere to defend it.
So you could play bishop d3 with the idea of playing c pawn to c5 here, maybe.
Oh yeah,
It's possible.
that's true.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of this, like that bishop at a6 is really just getting in your way here.
Yeah, I actually saw that. I was wondering, like, if I just play like b3 and then the pawn's on a2, b3, c4, I don't really see.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's no immediate.
There's no way for him. Yeah, black is a little better here. I think black, to get a piece onto d4 or something like that, black has a little pressure here, and black is applying it. b3, bishop b7, bishop g5, queen b8. That's an odd move.
Yeah. So I was debating between queen e6, which I thought now looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Because I get it out of the way, and since he did, my second plan of action was if he didn't play h3, I would play queen g5, and that looks kind of solid. Especially because it's gonna take him an extra tempo to defend the pawn. And now I can play with a little bit more like pressure. Like he doesn't have as much. Like he's more restricted. But I think with queen b8, I had the idea of playing like c5 and then maybe getting my knight onto b4 with a little maneuvering.
How about knight d7, knight c5 here?
Oh, yes, I was kind of worrying about that, too.
And leaving his bishop stranded at g5.
Yeah, because that bishop's not very good.
All right, so we're not going to spend the rest of the... But, so I'm not sure about this either, this unsolicited capture on f6. That doesn't strike me as being... Although that knight knight could have a dangerous future for you. And he's probably... I mean, playing maybe... I see, because if you play knight b1 right away, he takes on e4. It's white's pieces are all kind of stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
I think, and they're unfortunately placed here. You're going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit in your in the opening here, and maybe we'll take a quick look at that if we can. But so even though you get your knight to so black start. This is another move. This knight
I had
c8 move.
So I saw my knight didn't really have any moves.
Right.
So I figured I'd maneuver it knight c8,
to
knight
e7, c6, d4,
or
something.
a7, c6, b5 or something, or
black,
b4.
Black definitely, no matter what's going on here, black has played well here, and this is a strong move though, and this did not turn out well for black at all, who just lost the pawn for nothing.
I spent some time calculating what to do after like rook du7. I was kind of like, it was a little bit difficult.
So that means that your strategy up to here, maybe it's time to plug up, go back knight d6 and just and on knight d5 just take it. And then the problem is it's going to be a bishops of opposite color kind of thing going on here.
C6, knight d5 was annoying, so I had to play something to prevent that.
Well, like I said, when he plays knight d5, you can just take it off. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not ambitious as ambitious as c6, but rook d7, your lack of development here is starting to really to be very worrisome. And you still haven't anchored the knight down. It's still just sitting there. And your plan of playing knight e7 to c6, d4 is not coming, especially since you played c6.
Yeah.
So black has dithered around a little bit, and white's been able to recover. And this pawn sacrifice, it's a good try, but it doesn't really work. And white that's a strong move. It's also, so bishop d8, rook d1, and see, I'm not sure about rook d1 because of bishop e2 and bishop takes f3.
Considered that as well.
And that's giving black the opposite color, and then knight b6. You'd be almost, you see what black's trying to do? Exchange into opposite colored bishop.
And even though I'm up a pawn, bishop, opposite colored bishops.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible though that you're going to get some huge pressure on f7. But it's something to consider.
Right.
And knight b6, bishop. Okay, so now this ends up being a good exchange. So black seems to do well here. But you missed, by the way, you missed a quick win in this game, and it's coming right up here. I think black may be very close to not having a defense anymore after this. Okay, folks, white to play and win. It's not that
is it
difficult.
rook takes e6?
Yeah.
And then rook takes e6, bishop c4.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Rook takes e6, bishop c4. Yeah, rook e6, bishop
I actually
c4.
missed that. I don't know. Yeah.
Black can't play rook b6 because of bishop takes e6.
Yeah,
check.
I missed the. I
Right.
saw that earlier, but I missed the fact that the bishop on d8
Right.
blocks the b8 rook.
Okay, so that's an instant win here for white, which white misses, giving black another shot at saving the game. And actually, in a way, you're kind of close to saving the game here, right? If you can go play a4 and liquidate
The double.
this is bad. And
So I thought I had chances for back rank if I played like an F5.
oh, I see you're giving
F-
away.
Yeah, like
Okay.
F5, and then if takes, I can fork the 2 pieces, and that's what I had in mind for my plan. And
Okay, you don't want to allow knight g5
I
check
do,
or
yeah, because if I play it now, knight g5 wins the game instantly. So I have to prepare it, and h5.
Wait,
kinda-
knight g5, bishop takes g5.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true too. You don't need to put another pawn on a dark square, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that becomes problematic. So, but this is an odd response. I mean, can black can't quite play f5, and you're planning to play rook g3, putting another pawn on a dark square. So that's actually an interesting move. It doesn't occur to me right away, but to play rook g3 and force black to play g5 is taking advantage of that h6 move. That h6 move is starting to look bad on principle because you're putting a pawn on the same square as your bishop. Black would like to trade rooks, one pair of rooks, and maybe rook b4, figure out some, but you can't. So maybe king e8, is that a possibility, defending the bishop?
King e8, maybe like he starts doubling the rooks and plays like on the d file, and he can win the h pawn, and it just kind of looks. It doesn't. It looks.
Well,
a
he
little
has
murky.
to do it. I don't see an immediate way for him to double on the h file. You know, and you can
Yeah.
always play rook e7 or bishop e7 to block, maybe. But put h6. Okay, let's go back here. And this turned out to be very good because white defends a second rank, g5, and that's just. Let's come back here. What about f5?
f5.
Oh, knight g6. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. g5, and this is progress for white. So the knight has found. And let's go back here too. What about h5 instead of king g6?
I considered, and I thought maybe with h5 he could move his rook out of the way.
Yeah,
And play
h5,
g4,
rook c3, or rook g c3.
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
play g4, crack
mean-
it open, and then play. Now he has play on the h file because that h pawn is gone. So I didn't want to risk that. And then here comes the blunder.
Right.
'Cause I just hung a piece, but computer
black-
said this was equal.
It's possible. Your rook is so active. I mean, it's possible that it is, even though white seems to me to have a big positional advantage.
I think taking on c4
And then playing rook c2 or something.
and then equalizing, and now his knight is kind of stuck. It'll take him multiple moves to get it out of there, and playing with the bishop on and attacking f2 seems like the plan.
yeah.
Oh yeah, bishop
So-
instead of what about? Oh wait,
I think takes
one
maybe even
move back.
bishop b6.
Yeah,
Is
it's
bishop b6
funny.
an idea?
It's funny how. So back here, maybe king f1 is wrong, and white needs to coordinate these rooks. Let's double the rooks.
Yeah.
Right? And get that rook back into play. That rook is doing absolutely nothing over there.
Right. If
And-
I
and-
play rook c3 and he goes rook d1,
Then you can go king h2,
right?
right? And then you can start trying to trade a pair of rooks. and your king is safer over there. This is too early to bring the king into the middle of the board, or you're unable to. This is an awkward move for you to have to face, this rook b4, right? You can see that.
I'd consider playing just rook e3.
Rook e3 again.
Bishop b6 maybe?
Yeah, and then maybe just dropping the rook back. Right. You're the wrong. It's the wrong. You got crossed up here, right. And black starts to get some serious counterplay here, and that's probably what made the position evil. But then black blundered his rook.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel. Sorry, it happens to everybody.
100%. I got another 2 games today. Hopefully I can clutch it out.
Or one game today.
1 game today, two tomorrow.
Yeah.
So maybe
all right.
I'll
A lucky victory, but you know,
victory.
that game. Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck in your next games. Okay, folks. We are going to see what's happened here. Ashley Pang. This game was in the balance, and it looks like it's over. Knight c3, bishop e7, rook c8 check. White has a huge positional advantage, and this is going to translate into a huge, more of a material advantage. This is just black is playing on and obviously lost this game. Okay. That was a nice game by Aiko Hidari. Ashley kind of went off the hook in the. We're gonna
take a break.
Take a break.
Sounds good.
Yeah, in a minute.
I think he needs to take it.
How are you?
Well, okay. We'll show us your game really quickly, and then we're gonna. Well, that's okay. You were killing her in the last part. This is the end of it. So this is the end of the rounds. And we've got Aiko Hidari here, who just defeated women's candidate master Ashley Pang, who outrated him by 100 points or so. So let's see how that happened. All right. Yeah, kind of a slow English system here for white.
I think this knight g4 and then exchanging on b4, queen b6 was
not good.
No,
I agree. It's too impatient.
Yeah, and then that's a strategic advantage for white when you exchange on b4, right?
Yeah, it's just too impatient. Black should just make normal moves here. Bishop, whatever those normal moves are in this position.
Oh, yeah, knight
g4.
Bishop d2.
Bishop d2. Take. And this is threatening queen f2 mate. Knight h3.
No, you cannot capture b4, obviously.
Right. Knight b4, knight g5. So this is also like hitting at thin air here. White plays very simply. Also possible was to play knight d5 right away, obviously.
Yeah, and then
just start hitting the pieces.
Sure,
back.
and then e6, my knight should go back. I thought, well, I could wait.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
I was thinking about d5, e4, or yeah, but I thought I'm not so happy with this move, but.
Well, white is structurally a little better here, and this just gets worse for black.
And
I think
I'm not sure. Was it good to capture on e6 or no? I thought.
Well, you have the 2 bishops, so that's always good.
Okay.
But yeah, this will very safe position for white, and that's nice always.
No, I wanted to sub d5. But he played d5 anyway.
She played, yeah.
She played, sorry.
Yeah, no.
And now I thought queen exchange might give me some sort of long-term advantage, like
Probably.
2 bishop and rook in the endgame. d5. Okay.
And this doesn't work tactically.
No, actually, she ended up losing a pawn.
Yeah, I think bishop d4 is a strong move.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think no matter what black plays here, it's going to end up in a worse position.
Well, yeah, in
if
some
knight
case...
c6, you take on f6, and then you take on d5.
d5, and then it will be opposite color bishop with 1 pawn extra, but
Right.
I think it's a long way to go, but
Yeah, no, that would have. I saw that. We were looking at that too.
okay, yeah.
So,
And then,
but
I think it's still knight c6 is better.
Okay, so she plays knight f7.
Oh,
And
I
that
have to
just-
give up the bishop pair,
Right.
and then she didn't capture. I don't know why, because it will be again opposite.
Just take on d5.
Yeah, or no, take on c3. Rook takes c3.
And we're left with the opposite colored bishops again.
And then, yeah,
Yeah.
then that pawn end up on f7 and will be captured by the king rather
Right.
than being on c6, which is a strong pretty
Very
pass
good
pawn.
point. Very good point.
But she didn't
This
capture. I
is-
was surprised.
Yeah. Playing for the loss.
Now I was calculating d4, and if bishop takes d4, knight b5 is very good. Because then you get a tempo to attack the bishop, and then you have d6, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But
It's worth looking at home. All right, knight b5.
and I don't know why she didn't capture exchange pair of rooks and then capture on d5. Maybe you can capture on e2.
Right, well, you have rooks. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
And from now, I think white is a pawn up,
Sure.
and the bishop and the knight didn't get exchange. But now I start to play bad.
King f1, maybe, right? King
Maybe.
f1.
I at the beginning of the line, I thought I played knight, bishop f3, and everything is good. But then I realized, oh, knight e5 or knight g5.
So what
In
about
men-
king f1?
King f1 would have been much better, I guess. I want to bishop e f1, e3, d4, and then bishop comes to diagonal. But
That's a good idea.
yeah, you know, in many lines, that knight on f7 has gone. So you totally forgot that knight can come to e5. And I'm not sure if knight c5, the whole sequence is good. Knight e5. I think it's a critical moment here. I didn't play knight g2, king g2, and it almost gave up all of my advantage.
If knight d3, rook d1.
Oh, he has knight d3. Okay,
Yeah.
then never mind. d4, and then he kills my second bishop.
But you get
Yes. Still.
now rook c8 does not work because of rook c2.
Yeah, so-
cb4, knight d5.
Right. So it happens. She played
So
knight c.
Oh,
rook c2.
this is
Yeah.
what happened.
And I think
Oh,
now
she
she
plays
should
king
have
f7.
captured on b4. And what's the worst case scenario?
What if she
Like,
captures,
captures
on
on
knight d5?
Okay, exchange the rooks. Oh,
Knight
I
e7
capture with
check.
check.
Yeah,
Oh.
loses right away.
Ah.
That's why she has to play king f7.
Okay, then right.
yeah.
So
So this gives this gives an outside pass pawn, but you've calculated
Control
that
it.
this is actually
I was very hesitant
this is
about
a good way
b5,
to,
but
this
I
is
realized
a
it's
really
good
nice move, I think.
because that pawn is not gonna go anywhere. Either the knight or the king will block it. The a pawn is not gonna go anywhere, but my knight is active. His rook is passive.
Can you simply take and play rook a2 and win the pawn? Rook b5?
Well, here she played
No, but I'm
Bishop.
saying
just now. Oh, before?
take and rook
Yeah,
a2,
take
knight
it.
b5.
And I saw, okay, well, it
Then-
will be a knight versus bishop. Oh, 2 pawn up, not 1 pawn up. Oh.
Yeah.
If I capture that pawn, then it will be
Take,
2 pawn
take,
up
rook.
winning.
Because if rook b5, knight c, it might be difficult to
win that pawn.
win
I
it.
thought let's put the
Yeah.
pawn on the game.
All right.
And now
This
she's,
is. I
yeah.
think black is losing here.
And now rook c4, not to let her play a4.
Yep.
And then the king activates.
Yeah. This is well. You're winning. I think this
Yeah,
is,
now
must
it
be
is
winning.
over. And
Yeah.
then
She struggled.
here it's winning, but I start to mess up.
She struggled for a long time.
I don't know how to win now, but yeah, I made
No,
some.
you eventually you came to it. So.
And here I was, rook d2. I didn't saw rook d2. I thought just rook takes b5. I activate the knight and I will
F7.
winning.
Well,
now,
no. If rook takes b5, you win immediately with check and rook c8.
yes.
So
Now I have 5 minutes. I spent like 4 minutes thinking what to do now. I was calculating rook d8, rook c8.
this dislodges Yeah, rook
No.
g6 wins immediately here too, right?
No, but-
Then rook check. Okay.
Yeah, now knight c6 stops rook e2 check.
Gotcha. Okay, you're seeing more than I am, because you're playing the game, and now,
And now
she must
everything is
exchange.
easy.
Yeah.
Now it's easy. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can look at the position where you're 5 pawns up.
A little greedy.
Nice game.
Thank you.
Good game. Very good
Thank you
game.
very
Yeah.
much.
All right. All right, folks. We're going to be back. FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. We're going to be back for the next round of this tournament, the John Donaldson Memorial. I said memorial, even though it's not a memorial. The John Donaldson Championship, the first inaugural John Donaldson Championship. We're going to be back at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Please join us. And
Thank you.
be back in a couple hours or thereabouts. Okay.